Okay, quick Friday morning radar update. So we've got a nice pop this morning. DAX has just filled the gap, but we're up on across the board on everything else. 4 on the floor, as we like to say. I'll just run through these markets. We got a swing day in the US yesterday. I mean, I'll just say it again. Zoom those charts out. Market went gap straight up to new highs. First retrace would be very normal. Doesn't always happen, but you know, if you expect it, you know what to expect. Same with the transports. We've got pretty big industrial. Sorry, pretty big. We got high volume swing point yesterday, and we got pretty big on volume day. Now, there's nothing to say that this does not fade and come all the way back in and get that channel in action. You know, there's no crystal balls in this, but you know what to expect. You know, that's the best way to think about it. And just, you know, just zoom these charts out a little bit actually, and just say, make sure the log scale's on. Transports, you know, out through that big base level, you know, coming back in, pretty normal, but it's about watching the stocks. What stocks are in play? While the market is fully bullish at the top right hand edge, what stocks are emerging? And that's where you've got to, you know, you're going to be focusing on. If I'm adding more new risk, you know, I'm only adding on the back of success, and I'm looking for what's emerging. I'm not looking for what's been running for 300%. Oh, I'll have a little nibble at that now because I've got more risk. No, I'm looking for the next potential trender. You know, the real growth trends. We do this every day at my site, so we know all the stocks what are in play. I did a rundown actually last night through the focus list. We know all the stocks what are in play at this point in time, but it's about, you know, just turning over the stones at the right hand edge, seeing the new ones coming into the list, and waiting for those to fire off a low risk, high reward sort of potential entry. So yeah, I mean, it's extremely hard to be bearish on the US, but it's just, you know, that expected consolidation is what I'm trying to get across there. As for the DAX, it's just up there at highs and it's just bumbling around above the base. As for the FTSE 100, it's up there at highs, it's just going sideways in a base. You know, there's a lot of people seem to be bearish at the moment. You know, that's what I call a zone of interest up there. It's just a base up there. 250. Yeah, not the greatest action, but you know, you haven't missed a bull market in the 250 yet, have you? You've got a big level here, and it's just still bumbling around here. We're in a pullback area, and full listed small caps looks similar. You know, you could draw a big level there, big base there, and these are going to be, you know, these are not exact levels, but these are like levels of interest. And into AIM, you know, we're hoping this swing point here will stick and we'll get a high low there, and the makings of what looks like a stage base there. I delete the lines just so I don't curse it, but we've just been in this channeling pullback, and as I've said before, it's been a fantastic year in growth stocks. It's been grindy for the last couple of months, but still, you know, all-time highs in my portfolio today. Growth stocks are trending nicely. You know, that I'm not sure about. You know, we're not seeing much else, but the stocks what are trending higher. The reason they're up at the top right hand side is because they've got gas in the tank, and you know, my portfolio is built on gas in the tank, and that, you know, only in stocks what are structurally bullish, and that basically gives relative strength to the portfolio. So that's a run through the markets. I'll just jump straight into what's moving today. I'll hit my up on day screen. Gore back at highs. 3 years in the wilderness. It's got back there. So anyone who bought that on weakness is probably happy today. Let's just buzz through these. I'll wake my trolls if I talk about Gore, but it's just it's not a stock you know,
Resistance is futile.
It's a bit more like, well, it's the survivor version of Boo and Fever Tree. You know, after a huge trend, it's a bigger cap stock, more efficient trading stock, and I'm looking for inefficient high growth rather than more efficient lower growth. But we'll see it on the journey, I think. So this is what's up on day. I'll just fly through these quickly. Through these investment trusts, there's loads of them. Telltale sign of a risk on day is when you see all the investment trusts doing well. And then we'll just buzz through these IBST, kind of quite a deep pullback, but nothing sinister. Let me just doesn't matter. SRC. Yeah, as I mentioned last night, you know, a lot of these stocks, while the market's been a little bit horrible, a lot of the stocks we've been focused on have been sort of just grinding out Darvis style sort of boxes, haven't they? Nice strong action. CPG there up at highs. Drax. Cranswick working on a swing day today. You know, it's definitely a first pullback to this little ledge here. It's just, you know, it's not a trend stock for me. It's just, I'll say not a trend stock, but it's, you know, it's not a high growth, high beta sort of name. It's more very efficient sort of stock. GNC, yeah, we noted that one last night as well, didn't we? Another one what will let me just throw these into tonight's watch list.
Is futile.
As you can see, I've got an alert on that folder when I drop them into it. Fly through these. Bunzel, yep, holding up there. Hopefully it goes for a swing move. Hope. EXPN back up into the range. Let's see, continues. St. James, obviously we saw that in the swing screens a few days ago. Gore, so looking at Gore, year on year, the thing what gets me with these, but you know, it doesn't matter, the market likes it, doesn't it? But let's have a quick look. It was a case of, I do like I wish all updates were like this. I just wish they would say it's ahead of expectations. So when you kind of look at this, it's like market expectations or their own. I think it's their own expectations. And if you look at the revenue, 260, that's kind of, I don't, you know, if this is second half weighted, I kind of see it. But, you know, the full year turnover, it looks like a miss on full year. If all things being equal, it would be a miss on the turnover, but a beat on the profit. I don't, you know, I have no clue. I haven't looked into it. I don't know whether it, I presume it's second half weighted, but you'd have to update me on that. So yeah, big beat on the pre-tax by the looks. Just, you know, just looking at that quickly, I'm just looking at 203 up to 206 on the pre-tax for the full year, and 525, 526 to 549, which would be 250, 270, 275, and what did it say? Can't remember. So that's how I look at that. I just want to actually zoom that out as well, because, you know, all my haters will come out. I think they've all gone now, but This is what we focus on in the growth portfolio, the high growth, and these are multiples of risk. So you can imagine, take the log scale off, you can see how much was available, and then this massive knockout here, but then it went on to trend again. That's high growth. This as these stocks move, basically mutate into, a stock what's trading at, down here. Obviously, I think has there been a consolidation on the journey? Can't remember. Pretty sure there has, but there might not have been. Anyway, you can see the difference between a stock what's trading at 563 to now it's trading at, where are we, 135 there. So yeah, it's a very different stock here than it was there, is all I'm trying to get across. And all my haters got on, because this thing couldn't break out, so that meant it wasn't going higher, and usual suspects all started trolling me again, didn't they? But it lost half its price, and that's pretty usual. We've got a reverse vol base, we've got a first retrace, and it still went on a bit of a drift. It wasn't an easy journey, but 3 years it's back there. So how do we look at this now? When we see a gap up, that's what you want to see. A nice orderly pullback and a swing point would be my go-to. Well, what about the pro gap on this? Well, it's not exactly a pro gap jumping out of a range, is it? It's traded up towards that, so it wouldn't really be one I'd take as a pro gap. I'm not sure whether it'll start to move its way up the growth screen, because at the moment it's very lackluster, it's very flat, it's year on year, but that profit's definitely, it's single figures is what I'm trying to say on the growth on this year on year. So it's a popular one. Do your own research. We'll get some new figures out for that next week. They will drip through, but we'll see it again when it's ready. Watch the Switzerland group. So yeah, I do see the base here drift back in. You know what I say, I don't like doing business. You want to see this in the top right hand side of the screen, where it's pressing against 52-week highs and basing in a bit more positive area. HLN, obviously the swing day was a week ago now, working its way up. PAF swing day was last week as well. Was it last week or this week? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's straight back to highs. I would be trailing that if it posts a trail point myself. Free up a lot of that heat. Right move, just bumbling around on that pullback. Obviously, it's got chatter on it. What else is moving in here? Amazon. Kingfisher outside up yesterday. MKS. Yep, gapped up on that news. This looks like a beat all day long, doesn't it, on the full year? But they took advantage of that news day, didn't they? And it's come all the way back in, as many do. News days and noise days. Wix, talked about that one. Auto Trader, back in profit. Trustpilot, look at that on the next pullback. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We haven't seen a day like this in a few weeks, have we, where it's a fully risk on tape. So I will leave it there. And there's going to be, the US screens, I've dropped them. There's so much in there to look at. We'll see how this market continues through the day, through the zombie session. Okay, cheers all.